Streaming live now on News8000.com. You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at noon.
Good afternoon, and thanks for watching News 8 Now. I'm Lou Try. It's a story 3,000 years in the making. A piece of Native American history sailed home this week. A joint operation between the Wisconsin Historical Society and the Ho-Chunk Nation received the second ancient canoe from Lake Mendota. Naomi Coles captures the breathtaking moment.
After 4 months,
it gives me goosebumps.
Tamara Thompson could finally celebrate seeing something that hasn't been seen for so much longer.
3 different tests, so for sure it is a 3,000-year-old canoe.
This morning, Thompson helped the Wisconsin Historical Society dive team delicately raise an ancient canoe from the waters of Lake Mendota.
It's kind of the consistency of wet cardboard.
Thompson spotted the relic while scuba diving off the southwestern shores in May.
Texted my boss. I'm like, you're not going to believe this. This is not a joke. I found another dugout canoe.
Last fall, she helped recover a different 1,200-year-old canoe in the same lake. This summer, the Historical Society sent a sample from this canoe. Radiocarbon dating places it from approximately 1126 BC, predating the Trojan War. It's an era that's difficult for Marlon White Eagle to grasp. He's able today to touch something made by his Ho-Chunk tribe's distant ancestors.
Shows that we had a society with transportation, trade, commerce that was a part of the fabric of our society back then.
The excavation process started on Monday, 30 feet deep out in Lake Mendota. And now this 3,000-year-old canoe heads next to the State Archive Preservation Facility, where it could take up to 3 years to complete preservation. Historical Society Director Christian Overland admits this discovery, which is currently in several pieces, presents more questions than answers.
It's a new pathway and portal to the past to understand.
But he says, in conjunction with the Ho-Chunk tribe, there will be much to learn, much to celebrate in the years to come.
That's part of the story that we're going to bring up out of the water, and the investigation starts. The storytelling starts. History moves forward in a new way.
In Madison, for News 3 Now, I'm Naomi Coles.
The canoe joins the one found last year in Lake Mendota, which has had restoration delayed because of pandemic-related issues.
Well, we are off to a very cloudy and cool and almost wet afternoon. I say that because there is rain just off to the west of us that it's expected to move in later today. Let's get a quick check here on the satellite and radar, and you can see all the cloud cover that continues to pour across the Coulee region. And if we look back towards the west, you can see that there's a lot of rain here just around the Rochester area, and it continues to move towards the east. And it should be within our neck of the woods here rather shortly. Some heavy showers just to the west of Rochester, moving its way east now as well. And again, that's pretty much going to be moving in here later in the afternoon. As of right now, you can see that very thick overcast sky from City Cam 8 in downtown La Crosse, and those clouds are really helping to keep our temperatures on the cool side for us now. 57 is the current reading, as a matter of fact, in La Crosse and in Eau Claire, 55 degrees in Winona, and 55 as well in Viroqua. Now, as far as your daycast for the rest of the afternoon and heading into tonight goes, we remain cloudy with some of those off and on showers as they continue to move in from the west. And overall, we'll call this basically just a cloudy, wet, and cool day, and also night here for us to work with. I'll have your full weather forecast with more details coming up in just a bit. Dua?
All right, thank you, Derek.
Yeah.
An update on the Gunderson Health System and Green Bay-based Bellin Health merger. The two health systems are set to officially merge by the end of the year. Even though Bellin is far from the La Crosse area, Bellin's CEO says they are prioritizing keeping services local.
We have structured this in a way to really preserve our ability to make decisions locally that are in the best interest of the people in the regions that we serve.
Gunderson and Bellin have not decided on a name for the merger. This week, the third week of September, is known as Asthma Peak Week. That's because it's a week where doctors often see the most asthma attacks in the country. Trinity Chavez explains what you need to know to stay healthy.
September is the month where doctors see more people with asthma episodes and attacks around the nation. And the third week of the month is known as Asthma Peak Week. Kenneth Mendez is president and CEO of the Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America.
It really has to do with kids going back to school. Their colds and respiratory infections, and those can be triggers for asthma. Add to that the fall allergy season. You also have leaf mold, and then wildfires, hurricanes that create mold, and all those things combine to be irritants for your asthma.
In fact, 25% of hospitalizations for kids with asthma generally happen around this time. Doctors say there are things you can do to avoid asthma triggers. If you have fall allergies to ragweed and mold, keep your windows shut.
Make sure that you have healthy indoor air, so clean air. So use a certified asthma and allergy friendly air cleaner inside, because you spend 90% of your time indoors.
Mendez also says it's critical to have an asthma action plan.
It basically has on there what you should do to monitor how you're feeling and how you're breathing, what areas you're falling into, and what you need to do if that happens. So having rescue medication nearby, which is generally known as albuterol, and then knowing when to go to the emergency room.
And he says make sure you get a flu shot this fall to try and stay healthy. Trinity Chavez, CBS News, New York.
The Asthma and Allergy Foundation of America just released the list of the most challenging cities to live in with asthma. Detroit, Michigan, Cleveland, Ohio, and Allentown, Pennsylvania made the top 3. The lawyer for the suspect in the Waukesha Christmas parade attack wants to withdraw from the case. Darrell Brooks is charged with killing 6 people and injuring dozens more when he drove into the parade back in November. His attorney, Jeremy Perry, has filed a motion to withdraw, and Brooks is asking the court to represent himself at his trial. Brooks's trial is scheduled to begin October 3rd. The Madison police's use of tear gas on the crowds is up for debate again. It's come up multiple times, especially after a report found MPD should scale back its use of tear gas. But the suggestion of banning it hasn't gone past the city council.
Do you want officers to go in hands-on with people who are holding fire? Do you want officers to have to use other results? I don't want that at all.
But he's not going to be here forever. And the Madison Police Department stance can always change depending on the police chief.
Both sides believe situations shouldn't get to the place where tear gas is needed in the first place. Well, coming up, Tesla recalls more than 1 million cars because of a defect. That and more on our Money Watch report up next.
I'm Torquil Schultz with News 8, and we are celebrating a month-long of National Hispanic Heritage Awareness, and I'm here with Jesus. Jesus is the Complex Health and Safety Manager here at Pilgrims. Jesus, how does Pilgrims embrace the Hispanic culture?
We do have like the Cinco de Mayo celebration. I think that that's something huge. Whenever they serve meals, they try to think about our whole population, and they try to include meals that include everybody. They did also start a program not too long ago where they're trying to get people to learn English and Spanish to be able to communicate a lot better. So I think that that also helps a lot bridge out that communication piece there. Also, the opportunities here are pretty fair with everybody. I have had a great career here with Pilgrims and have the opportunity to grow. As you can see, I've been here for 4 years and I've been growing within the company, and that just also speaks well of how they treat us all fair.
I'm with Angie. She is an HR coordinator here at Pilgrims. And Angie, I'm wondering, generally speaking, how does Pilgrims differ from other businesses in respects to how they treat you with Hispanic heritage?
Pilgrims treat us differently because they provide equal opportunities for everyone. They are willing to invest training into us to see us at advance. We also have an open door policy, and they're always willing to help us. And I think team members truly appreciate that because they know we're always available and we're here to help them.
Natalie, what does Pilgrims offer to its Hispanic team members to make them know that this is a great place to start a career?
There's a lot of different resources that we offer. We offer bilingual trainers, supervisors. We have different type of ESL courses that they can take. We also offer everything that we have in English for better understanding the job, in Spanish as well.
Perkins Burger, Fries, and Pie combos are back, starting at $10.99. Mix and match any of our 100% Angus beef burgers with fries and a slice of any of our pies. And don't forget to order pumpkin pies and muffins from our bakery. Order online at perkinstogo.com.
You're not always going to be here, but you always have this. Whether you're here, or anywhere really, the News 8000 app lets you stay updated on your time. Get it today so you can have here.
Stocks fell again on Thursday as investors worry about high inflation, rising interest, and an uncertain economy. CBS News' Dan Lieberman is in New York with today's business headlines.
Tesla is recalling more than 1 million cars because of defects in their automatic windows that could injure passengers. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the recall affects Model 3 cars from 2017 to 2022, as well as Model S, X, and Y vehicles manufactured over the past few years. Tesla will push a software update to resolve the issue, which makes power windows more responsive to obstructions such as fingers. Mortgage rates rose once again in the last week. Freddie Mac's mortgage market survey says 30-year fixed-rate mortgages hit 6.29%. That's a 14-year high. A year ago, 30-year mortgages were averaging below 3%. The U.S. housing market is feeling the impact of the Federal Reserve's rate hikes aimed at easing high inflation. The central bank's 0.75 percentage point hike this week was its third recent increase of that size. FedEx unveiled its plans to raise shipping rates starting in early January. It's to counteract a recent dip in demand, causing a decline in the daily number of packages it handles. In its earnings release, the company says it will raise prices for most of its services by around 7%. It also says it hopes to save over $1 billion by reducing flights. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the CBS Broadcast Center, I'm Dan Lieberman.
And here is your chance to win some money. Oktoberfest medallion clue number 5 is back from battle to haul passengers, goods and wares docked along the Black to take on more upstairs. And experienced with a new special kind of fluid, a lantern sparked the fire that remains somewhat disputed. That was yesterday's Oktoberfest medallion hunt clue. The new one is posted online at news8000.com. And as we head to break, here is a live look at the New York Stock Exchange. Stay with us. More news is next.
Meet Brad Pfaff. He never had a job outside of politics. Seriously, he hung around long enough to climb that political ladder. He'll never fix Washington. He won't even try. Me, I spent 26 years fighting for our country. I served as a Navy SEAL, and I know how to get things done. I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message. Let's try something different. Let's change the people we're sending to D.C.
Water is one of nature's most beautiful and life-sustaining resources. At no fault of their own, many Wisconsin utility customers are facing a shutoff to their water service. This leaves them without the one life-giving resource we all take for granted. And those hardest hit are on fixed incomes, juggling multiple temporary jobs, or those who lost full-time jobs in sectors hardest hit by the pandemic. If someone you care about needs a hand up, your local Wisconsin energy and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safely in your home and your water, heat, and power on. If you are in danger of losing your water service, call 833-H2O-WISC, 833-426-9472. You may not ask for it, but we're here to help.
Prices are going up on groceries, they're going up at the gas station. The only ones profiting are oil companies, big corporations, China, and Ron Johnson. Johnson makes money from investments in factories in China. No wonder Johnson's net worth has doubled since he's been in Washington. Even worse, Johnson's allowed oil and drug companies to jack up prices on us. He takes all that money from them. Ron Johnson profits, we pay the price. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
The benefit to kicking the habit and getting healthy, why some people may fare better against COVID-19. Michael George has some of the day's top stories.
A new study in Frontiers in Immunology explores why some people with COVID-19 become seriously ill while others don't. Researchers suggest the lucky ones have been exposed to proteins through foods, vaccines, and bacteria in the past, similar to those found in the virus that causes COVID itself. A study out of the UK suggests everyone has a personal fat threshold, and exceeding it could make them diabetic. Researchers say that's important because doctors tend to assume diabetes has a different cause for lower weight people. They found dropping 10% of body weight could even help put type 2 diabetes into remission for people who are apparently slim. And smokers who kick the habit and stick to a healthy lifestyle have a 27% lower risk of dying from all causes than former smokers who do the opposite. Researchers at the National Cancer Institute found the greatest benefits came to those who adopted numerous changes, like exercising, eating right, and drinking less. Those are some of the day's top health stories. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
And according to the study, 18 million Americans are living in the U.S. cancer-free, and that number is expected to increase. And here is a live look through CityCam 8. Derek is in next with our forecast.
There's case after case. Women working for Tim Michaels' construction company saying they were groped, sexually assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. When they resisted, they say they were threatened, called a liar, and forced to resign. And when co-workers spoke up, they were fired. If this is how Tim Michaels runs his business, how do you think he'd run the state? Tim Michaels' radical agenda is so very, very wrong.
When the insurance company knows that Bygoff and Rohde is on the other side, they know they're in for a fight. They know that if they're not being fair with our client, they're going to find themselves in court, which is the last place they want to end up. So many attorneys will take in a case, but they won't go to court. That's the only way you can hold an insurance company accountable to make certain that you're getting the compensation that you deserve for the injuries you've suffered. And that's how Bygoff and Rohde gets results for its clients.
You heard the Jingle Man, Wisconsin. That means it's time to get a versatile, rugged, athletic SUV that makes you feel like you just won a title. Again. Honda was just crowned KBB.com's best value brand for the 7th year in a row. So get up and go to your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin. Bring it home, Songbird.
Get up and go.
Being there. Every minute of every day. As your community electric cooperative, it's not just our way of doing business, it's our way of life. And as a Touchstone Energy Cooperative member, that means value that goes far beyond the energy we provide. Value you can't really put a price on. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
CityCam 8 is brought to you by the Board Store. A new entry door is like a smile on the face of your home. As the only Provia Platinum dealer in the area, the Board Store can help you design the door that welcomes you home.
Home furniture. There's no place like home.
Well, pretty cloudy start here, as you can see behind me from a CityCam 8. Current temperatures in La Crosse are at 57 degrees. We do have a south wind that we're working with now at 10 miles an hour. That may act to help keep us a little bit warmer than what it actually would be, but those clouds are really not working too much in our favor to help keep most of the upper Midwest at this time pretty cool, as a matter of fact. We're not the only ones dealing with this cool weather. Temperatures right now are mainly into those mid to upper 50s, 55 degrees in Winona, 57 actually here in La Crosse, or Eau Claire, I should say. La Crosse is that same temperature, though. Black River Falls at 58 and Viroqua at 56 degrees. The afternoon highs today should rise into those upper 50s to low 60s, with 58 today in Eau Claire and 62 degrees further south in La Crosse today. Lots of clouds that continue to move in across the Coulee region. Also some rain showers that we're currently monitoring back towards the west, positioned around the Rochester area here across portions of southeastern Minnesota. And all of this activity continues to move its way towards the east and should be in our neck of the woods here probably around the early afternoon. We are watching this system back towards the west. This high pressure system, you can kind of ignore that, but I want you to pay attention to what's happening down in the south. This is a trough of low pressure that is containing clouds and rain showers, which is expected to affect our weather forecast today. 3 o'clock, 61 degrees and showers, cloudy skies by 5 o'clock, and then we could be looking pretty overcast yet again as we head towards the 7 o'clock hour, with temperatures remaining mainly into those mid to upper 50s. The sky tracker showing that those rain showers will move across the the area here today. Around the 3 o'clock hour, we can expect some of those heavier doses of rain showers to move through, followed by another round of rain here moving in. Scattered rain showers, as we head towards the evening hours around 10 to 11 o'clock. And then a couple of light spotty showers are still possible late tonight into early tomorrow morning. Now, heading into the day tomorrow, things remain pretty cloudy. Maybe a spotty shower or two is possible, and then a couple of light rain showers here across portions of our central and northern zones as we head toward tomorrow evening. And then those clouds are still hanging around here as we head towards early in the day tomorrow with a couple of light showers before everything finally comes to an end. And we should be looking at some sunnier conditions by early Sunday. Let's talk about your forecast overall tonight. 50 degrees, showers possible, south-southeast winds at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. And for the day tomorrow, 69 degrees, mostly cloudy, and watch out for a couple of light scattered showers. Southwest winds at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Real quickly, before we get to the 8-day forecast, there is another system that the U.S. is going to have to pay attention to. This is Tropical Depression number 9 south of the Dominican Republic and Hispaniola in general. 35-mile-per-hour winds moving west-northwest at 14. This is going to be a significant storm here eventually, becoming a tropical storm here by this evening, and it's gradual strengthening south of Jamaica by the time the system is in vicinity of Jamaica around tomorrow, becoming the season's next hurricane by tomorrow morning just south of Cuba, moving north, and eventually, check this out, this is probably going to strengthen to a strong Category 2 hurricane in the eastern Gulf of Mexico by Tuesday before possibly affecting southern Florida here on the west coast of Florida around 8 o'clock on Wednesday morning. So something that our friends and neighbors down south will have to pay attention to. Let them know, too, if you have any friends down south around the southern Florida peninsula, because they could be looking at a potential hurricane. But as for us, we're not dealing with that here, obviously. It's going to be a lot cooler, and we're just going to have to watch out for occasional rain showers through the weekend.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Up next, a Packers First. Meet the first female on-air personality for Packers Radio Network.
At a company, the culture comes from the top. Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times over sexual assault and harassment in the workplace. Women who worked for Michaels' company said they were groped, assaulted, and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Higher-ups at Michaels dismissed the women as liars and even fired those who spoke out. Is that what we need for Wisconsin? Tim Michaels, too radical, too divisive.
When your back pain is your foot's fault. This is Dean's story.
I had back pain, and I honestly didn't know where to go.
Until a friend suggested the Good Feet store.
She had to explain to me the feet are connected to the back.
And get this.
As soon as I put on those Good Feet arch supports, the pressure lifted off my back. It's like finding that missing puzzle piece. Like, yes, this is it.
Stop by for your free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Wisconsin is a home of workers. We know what needs to get done, and we do it. Yet, we've been hit hard, some harder than others. Our contact may be limited, but we still can lift each other up. The Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund and your local energy providers are working together to help keep your heat and power on. You may not ask for it, but we want you to know we're here.
Ron Johnson's at it again, lying about my taxes. Let's be clear, my taxes are paid in full, but there were times I was getting by on peanut butter sandwiches. And that's why I support a tax cut for the middle class. Put more money in your pockets, because I know how hard you work. But Johnson used his Senate seat to write a loophole that gave huge tax cuts to himself and his biggest donors, leaving us with crumbs. And that's how we get left behind. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
A groundbreaking moment at the Packers Radio Network. For the first time ever, a woman is joining the on-air talent team. Shanna Quinn says the most touching moment was telling her mom and grandmom, both Green Bay Packers fans and season ticket holders, about her new role. She says this shows that it's not just a boys' team.
You know, for someone who is younger and like coming up, I hope that these little girls get to see like it's not just a boys' team, it's not just a boys' game, like there's a spot for you too.
As somebody who was raised on football, Quinn says this is a dream come true, and she says she's excited to use her voice to get more women in sports and bring the passion of the game to Packers fans nationwide. Stay with us, we'll have one more check of your forecast when we return.
Change it up and choose Dutch Boy from Menards. Get the best quality Dutch Boy paints at the best prices. Pick out the perfect color. We offer free custom color matching and tinting to create thousands of color options. And with Dutch Boy's easy opening, smooth pouring container, and no prep, no prime formula, transforming your home has never been easier. Save 11% on all Dutch Boy paints now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Under Governor Evers, hardworking Wisconsin families are being left behind. We're paying more for food, gas, everything. And Tony Evers tried to make us pay even more, a 20% gas tax increase, doubling the tax on home heating bills. And while Evers puts the squeeze on us, he wanted to give taxpayer-funded benefits to people who refuse to work. He even opposes drug testing welfare recipients. Tony Evers is leaving hard-working Wisconsin families behind.
One window or a house, well, the Board Store's here to serve. Double hung windows, sliders, picture windows, crank out or bays and bows. Energy efficient glass, many exterior colors, wood grain interiors, all fairly priced and always installed by the Board Store's factory certified installers. Need a patio door, entry door? Same superior products, skilled installation and fair pricing. Join thousands of your neighbors who enjoy their windows and doors from the Board Store.
I'm Dave Estenson, and I've been a lot of things. Law enforcement officer, long-haul trucker, small businessman, school board member, and a bull rider. I got tired of saying someone should do something, so I'm running for state senate to back the badge and help stop crime, fix our roads and the supply chain, bring common sense back to our schools, and stop the bull, because I quit that a long time ago. I'm Dave Estenson, and I'd appreciate your vote.
We are going to be looking at some scattered showers today, and also there are slim chances as we head into the weekend as well, followed by mainly sunny and dry conditions for much of next week. Highs in the 60s and lows in the 40s.
All right, thank you for watching News 8 Now. We'll see you back here for our 5 and 6. Have a great day, everyone.